Hello folks, this is Sula speaking. You're listening to another video for Teamfight Tactics. This is a somewhat different video. For one thing, it's not a double up game, and that's kind of interesting. I just noticed the borders now update with your rankings in double up mode, in addition to your rating in normal ranked. I had the diamond borders from double up mode, even though this is a non-double up game here. But in any case, this game is going to be a look at one of the new units in set 7.5, and that is a look at Nomsy. So yes, Nomsy was the kind of free unit that popped up when you played as the trainer trait in the first half of the set. Here in the second half of the set, Nomsy is its own unit. Nomsy is one of the dragons that they've added. Nomsy is at the 3 cost tier, costs 6 gold, but is at the 3 cost tier. And Nomsy's ability will change from game to game. Can be one of 3 different things. It can be either the Cannoneer trait, the Evoker trait, or the Mage trait. And in this game, Nomsy is going to have the Mage trait. In this particular patch, the Mage version of Nomsy has turned out to be pretty powerful overall. It's responsible for one of the more popular builds, but of course you can only run it when Nomsy has the Mage trait, which does not happen in every game, and this is going to be one of the games where that does in fact happen. I checked this by right-clicking on Vlad at the start of the game, and Nomsy's portrait popped up there, which means that this is a Mage Nomsy game, and I wanted to test out this build. This is just a normal Teamfight Tactics game, so I was like, alright, I'm going to force this build, and I'm just going to test out Mage Nomsy. Basically, this is a build that plays Nomsy as like the featured carry and tries to get up to 7 mages. The mage trait was buffed at higher tiers in the most recent patch as I'm posting this video. And Mage 7 was one of those tiers that was buffed so that all of the mages actually cast for higher ability power than they were before. I'm going to look at this up because I have the cheat sheet on the other screen. Right now, Mage 7 is 140% ability power. Of course, it's very difficult to get to Mage 7 unless you have like multiple Mage caps or Nomsy has the Mage trait. It's much easier to get to that point if Nomsy has the Mage trait. All right, one other interesting thing happens here. I get a Varus that pops out of this last minion round, and that's going to be very significant in this game because look, there is Mage Crest as an option, and I'm going to click on that so fast in this game. The reason why that's significant is it's going to allow me to play Varus as a mage, and that's going to make it much easier to get the astral trait in this game. So I'm going to level to 4. I'm going to put this mage hat on Varus, and so now Varus is going to be a mage. And then if I can just find a Lux now, I'll be able to play astral plus mage, which is kind of an unusual opening here. But with the mage cap, I'm going to be able to run this. And I'm going to be relatively happy with this. So I am forcing Nomsy in this game, and I'm going to do my best to try out Mage Nomsy. Right now I'm like, do I want to play 3 mages? Do I want to play 3 astral? I decided that it would be better to play the 3 mages so I get double casts. Now, as far as the unit that you typically would turn into a mage, the most common unit to do that, whether you're playing Lagoon or whether you're playing this Nomsy build that I'm going to feature in this game, normally the best unit to turn into a mage is Zyra. You're almost always going to want to play Silas if you're playing into these boards because Silas is like the only frontline mage in this game. And so because Silas has the Whispers trait, if you turn Zyra into a mage unit, excuse me, then Zyra will double cast, and she'll be applying those Whisper stacks, and that tends to work out pretty nicely. But I don't have a Zyra here, and in fact, I'm going to be leaning rather heavily on the Astral side of things in this game, so having Varus as an extra Astral mage is actually going to be pretty nice. There's a great deal of internal synergy between the Astral trait and the Mage trait in this game, similar to what was the case in the first half of set 7. You have Vlad, who is Astral plus Mage, and you also have Lux, who is Astral plus Mage. So those 2 traits kind of go together. You can see I can also do this if I want to get the Astral trait in. This, of course, forces me to drop Mages until I can find until I can go ahead and find a Lux. But I decided I would go ahead and play Astral because I do actually have the chance to get Luxes by playing the Astral trait in this game. So let me talk a bit about Astral because we don't have Nomsy on the board just yet. Astral was around in the first half of the set. What Astral did in the first half of the set was once you had the Astral trait in, every 5th shop you would get this Astral shop that was guaranteed to have 3 astral units in it. There were a lot of problems with running that trait because anything that increased kind of mucks with what the shop odds look like generally tends to be problematic in Teamfight Tactics, and there were a lot of issues with that. So for the second half of the set, Astral was reworked. It no longer affects the shop odds. Now you get an orb after every round that you, after every PvP round, I should say. You get an orb that has some kind of benefit in it, and what you get out of that orb is dependent on how many star levels of Astral you have on the board right now. So for example, right now I have Astral 3 trait in, and I have 4 total star levels of Astral units. I have a 2-star Vlad, I have a 1-star Varus, and I have a 1-star Skarner. So 2 + 1 + 1, 4 total star levels of Astral units. The higher the star level of the Astral units, the better the benefit you get from this. When the set released in the initial version, there were actually these like breakpoints. Like if you got to 7 star levels of Astral, you would get like a huge increase, and then at 10 star levels, you'd get another big increase, and you could play multiple Astral units to get those increases. That is no longer the case in the first official patch of the set. They very wisely did away with these breakpoints because breakpoints were never documented anywhere in game, but like had a huge effect on what was going on. So now, no breakpoints. The more star levels of Astral units you have in, the higher the benefit. And putting multiple copies of the same unit does not increase the benefit. So like if you put 2 Vlads on the board, it doesn't work. You only get the benefit from having 1 Vlad. Higher ranks of the Astral trait do not increase the value of the Astral orbs. Like going to Astral 5 does not increase the value of the orbs, but if you have more Astral units on the board, then you naturally have more star levels, so the benefits go up in that regard. All right, well, I was able to win the first 3 rounds. I was pretty happy with that. Always nice to get off to that good start. So now it's my turn to go ahead and pick up some of these items. And here, I'm going to path over here to the Olaf and grab this. Why? Well, I've got that belt on Malphite, so this is an early Sunfire Cape. Sunfire Cape not great in the late game, but will be good here in the early game, and it's always good to get some healing debuffs. I also have a real chance to 3-star Skarner because he's going to keep popping out of these Astral orbs. It's quite common to get Astral units out of the orb. Sometimes you get gold, sometimes you get more units. So this board's actually pretty solid here. We've got double 2-star frontliners, 2-star Skarner, 2-star Malphite, 2-star Vlad, and then I've got the Varus and the Talia. Again, I'm still looking for Lux. I would very happily replace the Talia with Lux because, number one, it's a better unit, a 2-cost unit as opposed to a 1-cost unit, and it would also give me an extra star level for Astral purposes. Right now, I, of course, have the 5 star levels in, 2 from Skarner, 2 from Vlad, 1 from Varus. And like I said, the higher the star level, the better the economic benefits you get out of that. I believe where I am right now at 5 star levels of Astral, the average gold value of the orb is about 1.5 gold, but when you get up to like 6, 7, 8, it starts going up to like 3 gold, 4 gold, etc. I'm also stuck at 19 gold, but I don't want to sell this Skarner. And oh, there we go. There is the Lux. And by the way, there's more Skarners, so I will just hold these Skarners because the odds of me, like I said, the odds of me hitting 3-star Skarner are pretty decent here. And now we're up to 6 ranks of Astral in this game. As far as what the higher tiers of Astral actually do, remember how I said that higher tiers of Astral do not increase the orb value. Higher tiers of Astral do increase the ability power that you get. Astral 3 gives everybody 5 ability power, which is kind of like whatever. But if you go up to Astral 5, you do get 30 ability power. I'm not planning on doing that this game. I'm going to be looking to add more mages. I'm not going to be looking to add additional Astral units for the ability power. The only other unit that I could put in would be Nidalee, and Nidalee is just not going to be that useful for the board that I'm running. All right, I was hoping that I could win streak through the rest of the stage. Unfortunately, I hit this person, Sensual Sea Lion. That's a great name. They've already leveled to level 6, and they have this Volibear that's doing an awful lot of damage. I was just hoping I would not hit them. It was 1 in 3 odds for me to hit them on the last round. I was like, if I hit this person, my win streak ends. There's no way I'm beating that person's board. It's just not happening. So I was a little sad to see that happen, but well, it is what it is. Like I said, they made the aggressive play. They went to level 6. They took an augment that gives them no long-term value. They took, I think, the one that gives you just 3 3-cost units, and they used that to play into Volibear. And they're doing what they need to do with that, which is to win streak. But as I said, they did end my win streak. So Not great for economic purposes, but it was still a very good stage 2 overall. And now we're going to wait to see what we get here. Okay, Lee Sin, not going to be that useful. I am looking now to get items for Nomsy. I kind of have Vlad as my Nomsy item holder for right now, which is a little unfortunate because I'm going to have to sell the Vlad to get those items off. But I don't know what else I can do about that. And I'm still looking for the first Nomsy to pop up. I have not actually seen the Nomsy appear yet. So now I've got this sword. The sword is not that useful. One thing you can try to do with Nomsy is you can try to make I think that the best items on him, or on her, excuse me, I should be clear, they clarified that Nomsy is a she. It was not clear in the first half of the set, but the text does refer to Nomsy as a she, so it's a female dragon. The best items seem to be if you can get the Spear of Shojin, first of all, to cause Nomsy to cast more often. She has a mana cost of 90 in the current patch. So that definitely is Spear of Shojin territory, not blue buff territory. So you generally want one mana item, which is usually Spear of Shojin, if you can get it. So I'm hoping that I can take this sword and use it, sword plus tier for Spear of Shojin. Then after that, the best items seem to be Infinity Edge plus Jeweled Gauntlet, if you can put the combo together. I don't really seem like I have the setup for that because I do not have any gloves right now. By the way, I'm also getting shredded by this Syra right now. Just tearing apart my backline. Another person who went to level 6 and went down to, I guess, down to 10 gold, but then they sold some stuff to get to 20. So yeah, some people being pretty aggressive with their leveling patterns here. But oh, this is really nice. So we get a Prismatic Augment, but I get the Prismatic Augment that is Cybernetics, the one that is Cybernetic Upload. And so that's going to allow me to cause any unit that holds an item to get the big mana increase. I'm also going to go ahead and find the Nomsy here. So I will go ahead and put Nomsy on the board for the first time. Nomsy has a unique trait called Prodigy. And this is kind of like the reverse of the trainer from the first half of the set, if you haven't seen this one before. Officially, it says Nomsy gets a random trait each game. She summons a former trainer to aid her in battle, who also gains this trait. Trainer's ability power is also equal to Nomsy's ability power. When Nomsy dies, trainers gain 100% attack speed. So you know how in the first half of the set you needed to play multiple trainer units to get Nomsy on the board. Now you purchase Nomsy in the shop, and the former trainers from the first half of the set, that being Heimerdinger and Tristana and Lulu, they pop up as units that accompany Nomsy on the battlefield. Because this is a game where Nomsy's extra trait is the Mage trait, that means that it is Heimerdinger who gets summoned. And Heimer functions the same as he did in the first half of the set. He has that ability whereby he targets whoever has the highest percentage-based health on the enemy team, and then will stun them with his ability. So, interesting unit. I do think this is a pretty creative trait. It has already caused some balance problems, somewhat unfortunately. But it is a neat trait, and it's fun seeing this. So I'm a little bit sad that I had to sell the Vlad to get those items off. I did go from 2-star Vlad to 1-star Nomsy, so it may not even have been the right decision to do that, but I did want to get a chance to test out Nomsy, and so this is me trying to get a sense to how to test this unit out. I also would really like to use some of these items here. As I said, I'm trying to get a tier so I can get Spear of Shojin so that Nomsy will cast more often. It actually would not be bad to get multiple swords either, because Gunblade turns out to be one of Nomsy's better items. Now, if you watch Nomsy's positioning in this fight, I have Nomsy positioned in the back row, but I figured out pretty quickly Nomsy almost always started to move up after that. Well, she didn't do that in this round, but Nomsy's range is relatively short. She often would start moving up in the fight, so she does seem to put herself in a little bit more danger than some of the other mages, because I believe the range on her ability is only 3, and most mages, their ability is usually 4, so she usually is a little bit closer to the action than some of the other mages, and that means that anytime that your unit is taking damage, Gunblade tends to be a pretty useful ability. But you see the ability, it shoots out little explosions, and oh, Varus gonna clutch this one out. Very, very nice. Just barely is able to win that one with the double cast on the Chains of Constellation, not Chains of Corruption. So we've got another carousel here. And of course, I would prefer the tier. Unfortunately, tiers are in very high priority because we are in a mages metagame. So I was like, oh, come on. Can I get this tier here? I was like, oh, come on. And yes, I'm actually going to get that. So, aha. I was worried that I was not going to get that one. So now I can go ahead, make Spear of Shojin, and that's going to be nice because it's going to cause Nomsy to cast significantly more often. Then I just want to get to level 7, and then I want to get another mage in. Doesn't really matter which one. Silas is the preferred one. I am not having good luck finding Silas this game, unfortunately. I really would like to get Silas in because as soon as I can find Silas, I'll be able to sell Malphite, and then I will get another mage. Like, if I had found Silas, I'd already be at 5 mages right now, and that's a pretty big increase. The 3 mages double cast, but they cast at lowered ability power. The 5 mages double cast at actually slightly higher ability power. Right now, Mages 3 is 80%, Mages 5 is 110% ability power. So that's a pretty big jump. That's like a third increase to go from 80% ability power to 110% ability power. So it's pretty significant. All right, well, here we have another person who's playing Nomsy as well. They took Binary Airdrop for their Prismatic, and unfortunately for me, it looks like the extra item that they rolled is a Gunblade, which, as I've mentioned, is one of the better items on Nomsy. So I was like, that's a little bit unfortunate that they rolled a random item that was that useful for their comp. I'm like, come on, just a little bit short here. It was close, but a little bit short. That person's already level 60 gold. So yeah, they have rolled themselves down to like almost nothing. But yeah, they rolled, the extra item is the one in the box, so they got a Gunblade here. And I still got this extra rod I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with. Also, still, where's my extra Silas here? I would definitely like that. But a Vlad pops out, and so that means that Vlad is probably the next unit in. I'd rather play Vlad than Talia, just because that will get me, again, another rank of Astral. So it will get me the slightly higher Astral Orb quality. I actually went down in Orb quality by taking out 2-star Vlad and replacing it with nothing. So I go ahead and level to 7 here, in part because I want the better shop odds. I'm hoping that I can find more Nomsys. Nomsy is a unit at the 3-cost tier. Nomsy is a dragon, so Nomsy costs 6 gold to purchase in the shop, but does appear at the 3-cost tier. So I am hoping that I'll have better odds to find Nomsys. It's a little bit unfortunate. I'm actually very heavily contested in this game with the comp that I'm playing. We've already seen there's someone else playing Nomsy, and then there's this person I'm hitting right now who is just playing straight Astral. Like, they're playing very heavily into the Astral trait. They are stuck at they're still at level 5 right now, although they do have the +1 team size because they took that as their Prismatic. And they're, like I said, they're just staying at low levels and re-rolling for Astral units. They're actually playing this in kind of stupid fashion, to be honest, because they've rolled themselves down to 0 gold. Like, it's totally fine to stay at level 5 and just keep rolling for Astral units, but you want to stay at 50 gold. You do not want to go all the way down to 0 gold. That is not the play there to do that. So it's an interesting test for this build because not only am I playing this build for the first time, I'm also playing it with 2 people that are pretty heavily contesting. One other person is this person right here, Sloss, is clearly playing the same build. And then another person is playing just 100% Astral. So, like I said, it's going to be a good test of that. In any case, I was able to hit the 3-star Skarner, so that's pretty cool. You do have a decent odds to 3-star the Lux and the Vladimir and the Skarner if you're playing this build, just because you get them out of the Astral Orbs. I will go ahead and take the Talia here for +1 mages over the Vlad, just because the value of +1 Astral is not that high. I think that I had, excuse me, I think that I had like very slightly higher quality of orbs from doing that. So I go ahead and I did not really get the items I was looking for here. So I'm going to go ahead and place the second rod on Nomsy to make a death cap. It's not what I want for sure, but I also didn't want these items just sitting on the bench for too long. So yeah, I would have preferred to make something else. And this is arguably me being a little bit too impatient here by making the death cap instead of going for, like, I don't know, like maybe Archangel Staff plus Jeweled Gauntlet, which I do think would be better. But as I said, you know, I am kind of middle of the pack here, and I don't want to lose too much health. And it's not like Death Cap is a bad item on Nomsy. It's still useful. It's just committing 2 rods to Death Cap that could have gone into other items is maybe not ideal. So Nomsy's going to get some additional ability power. That said, because you get ability power from the Mage trait, remember I said the best itemization is probably Jeweled Gauntlets plus... Infinity Edge. That's because you get base ability power from the Mage trait. Now here I'm looking at these different options, and I was like, it's not scoped weapons, definitely not. We don't need extra attack range. Actually, Nomsy wouldn't hurt getting that either. But that would not be terrible. And I don't think it's first aid kit because I don't really have much healing or shielding on this team. I guess Silas will have that eventually, but I still haven't found even one Silas yet. So I go ahead and take Earth's grab bag. And the rationale for that is if I can find one more, tier, then I can make another unit into a mage. And that would not be bad either. I could just play, I could theoretically have 9 mages in at level 9. I could just have 9 units and all of them be mages. So look what I'm going to do here. I'm going to go ahead and take the component that came out of Earth's grab bag, which was a cloak. I'm going to use that to make the Dragon's Claw. That's a good item for a frontliner. Again, Malphite is just holding items for Silas. Hopefully Silas will show up one day. Silas, where are you? And then I'm going to take the bow and slap it on Skarner. That's because I'm hoping to find a belt so I can make a Zerat Portal. Zerat Portal is quite good on team compositions that lack frontline, which is what this comp's biggest weakness is. It doesn't have much frontline. And then I'm going to take the spatula and I'm going to put it on Lux. And the reason for that is I'm hoping to get a tier and make a mage cap. And if I do that, then it will pop the item off of Lux. But in the meantime, remember, I'm running Prismatic Cybernetic Uplink here. So I actually do get the Cybernetic Uplink's value by having that spatula on Lux. So this is me trying to make use of my Prismatic Augment. Cybernetic Uplinks, I think most people watching this are probably familiar with this, but basically what this augment does is units that have an item on them gain additional health and then some other kind of benefit. This is the uplink version of the trait, which gives units that have an item additional mana generation. I think they get 5 mana per second, something like that, which is, of course, great for casters. All right, now this is the person we saw before. This is the person who went level 6 early and ended my win streak, Sensual Sea Lion. They have a really interesting build here. They have taken the Prismatic Scoped Weapons, which gives units in the back rows infinite range, and then they're playing a Shimmer Scale Volibear team composition. So, like, it might look like I'm doing decently here, but, like, the Volibear in the back lines is literally just standing in place, killing everything. I was like, oh my god. Wait, that Volibear just did so much damage. And yeah, there it is. This is scope weapons. Units in the back rows have infinite range. So I was like, oh man, that comp didn't look that strong, but wow, it sure was strong, apparently. So that definitely threw me off. But now I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to get stronger if I'm gonna deal with that build. Because the Volibear just standing in the back rows with Gambler's Blade and Rage Blade just really shredded my team composition. All right, so out of these options right here, I'm going to go ahead and grab the Bard. And Bard will be useful to play just as another... Oh, no, actually, no, I'm not playing it for the Bard. I'm playing it because I wanted the belt to put on Skarner for a Zerat Portal. There was a Silas here as well, but I didn't want Silas with a rod. And I'm still confident that I can find Silas at some point. All right, so we're going to go ahead and make the Zerat Portal. And now I'm going to look to go level 8 and look to see what other units I can get in. And oh, well, that was easy enough. We hit double Nomsy. I'll toss in the Vlad. And now, again, now I just need to find Silas, because Silas gets me to 7 mages. And that's a big spike in this count. I really need to find a Silas. I'm also going to pick up Zyra because, again, I'd like to make Zyra into a mage and then play her. But man, I still have not found a Silas yet. I'm like, what is going on here? To have gone this long in the game and find 0 Silases is not good. That's pretty unlucky. So I had reasonably good luck at finding Nomsy in this game, but wow, I have not had luck at finding the Silas in this game. And teamfight tactics, sometimes that happens. The fact that the Skarner is 3-star is actually really nice, though, because that's allowing me to get the bigger Zerat minion value. All right, we're up against this Pantheon. Come on, can we get off these extra double casts? And woo, that was a close round. Nomsy does 9,500 damage in that one. But, like, I have to just keep rolling it down until I can find Silas. I think if I can find one Silas, I can probably go level 9. But I need to find at least one Silas here. Otherwise, I'm stuck on 6 mages, and I really need to find 7 mages. So I'm very disappointed that I have not been able to find at least one of this unit. Right now, as I said before, 5 mages is 110% ability power. 7 mages is 140% ability power. Now, going from 110 to 140 is not that big of a deal on Nomsy, because Nomsy already has a death cap, but it is a very big deal on units like Lux, who has no itemization, on Talia, who has no itemization, on Varus, who has no itemization. So it's those units that really benefit the most. All right, it looks like we have we've got a Shyvana board here. I get a little bit lucky in the fact that Nomsy takes out the dragon in the backlines. I think that was an Al-Shin, and Nomsy could have cast wherever, but fortunately double cast and just killed that unit in the backlines. And now The targeting is very lucky again because Nomsy does not get focused. Shyvana was breathing in the opposite direction, so I get some good fight RNG there. That person's already level 9. I think they had level up augment, and they rushed level 9. All right, and so now we've got another one of these treasure dragons, and I was like, ooh, Zanya's Paradox? Well, I kind of wanted a tier because I wanted to see if I could go ahead and make that spatula into a mage cap to potentially get 9 mages in, and then I could have looked to play Zyra. But nope, I'm going to go ahead and take this because I was very interested in that Zanya's Paradox. So this is an Ornn item, and again, man, can I freaking find a Silas? Oh my god, I want to go to 9, but I need to find Silas. Anyway, so I'm just still trying to find a Silas. Oh my god, this game, what is going on here? Not even one Silas? So now because I'm not going to make the mage cap, I'm going to go ahead and sell the Zyras. And I am finding some more Varuses, but like I have not found even one Silas. And there we go, finally. But like look how much money I had to spend here. I wanted to go to level 9, and now I'm not going to be able to do that until later, so yikes. All right, well, we finally get the 7 mages in with Silas, but geez, that took a long time. Anyways, so Silas gets me to 7 mages. I went ahead and used the bow that popped out of that Chaos Treasure Dragon to make a Swift Shot emblem. And you know what? I think that's actually decent here because it's going to give Varus and the Lux additional attack speed. Definitely not as good as if I were to make another mage emblem and look to potentially play 9 mages at level 9. But, you know, not bad. And, it gives Lux a useful item. She actually does the 2nd most damage in that fight. And it also gives Varus additional attack speed as well. So I was pretty happy with that. And now I'm going to look to go to level 9 and look to see if I can replace Talia with Zoe, which would be nice. By the way, where is this double Xayah store when I'm playing Xayah? Apparently no one was playing Xayah in this lobby. All right, one more word about the item that came out of the Treasure Dragon. So this is Zanya's Paradox. This item provides additional AP, and it provides additional armor. And the big thing is you get the Zanya's invulnerability, just like in normal League of Legends. And again, I said before that Nomsy has lower range than a lot of the other mages, so Nomsy often gets caught up in the combat, more so than other units. So this is useful in that regard as well. I am currently on 4 Nomsys. I would really like to try to 3-star Nomsy, but I have not seen that many Nomsys this game. Again, it is a contested unit, so it feels as though probably not too likely to hit the 3-star version. In order to win the lobby, as opposed to just top 4, you would probably need to 3-star Nomsy in most games if you're looking to actually win. And oof, this 3-star Lux, it's really close. Come on, Lux. It's Lux versus Lux. Oh, and 51 HP. Look how close that is. I really would have liked to have won that because I would like to get that other player out of the game if at all possible. Would really like to eliminate that player who's holding a bajillion astral units, since it would make it a lot easier to hit Varus 3-star, I guess Lux 3-star. I am on 6 Luxes, so I have decent odds to try to hit Lux 3-star. How many total astral ranks do I have right now? I have 3 on Skarner, 2 on Vlad, 2 on Varus, 2 on Lux, so that's 3, 2, 2, 2, that's what? That's 9 total ranks of astral. Yeah, I should be getting some pretty decent astral orbs. So yeah, 9 total ranks of astral gives you, I think the average gold value is about 4 gold per turn, so that's pretty significant as well. But we are getting to the later stages of the game here. Again, the thing that has just killed me in this game is I had to roll so much gold to try to get the, just to find a Silas. If I'd had a little bit better luck there, I could be getting closer to level 9. Like I could probably be level 9 at the end of stage 5. Instead, I'm clearly going to take forever to get to level 9. But my board does seem to be pretty strong overall. And as I said, I think my setup's pretty good here. We actually have a all-dragon carousel here. So I don't know that there's that much that I really want here, unfortunately. Like, Gunblade would have been a good last item on Nomsy, but there's no extra slot on Nomsy. So I just am like, all right, well, I'll go ahead and take a Zeke's. I can put this on one of the other units, and then that'll give them cybernetics value as well. And I'll just have them stand next to Nomsy, give her a little bit of extra attack value, a little bit of extra attack speed. Does have good synergy with the Spear of Shojin, because more attack speed means you get more Shoto auto attacks off. There we go, 3 gold there, not bad. I'll take it. I guess before this game's over, I should read the official description of Nomsy's ability. So let me read this for you here. It's called Fireballs, with an exclamation point. Nomsy bellows, lobbing a massive fireball towards her current target, explodes on impact, deals magic damage to enemies within 1 hex, and bounces additional fireballs outwards that deal a percentage of the damage. So you've probably seen this in the fights so far. Tosses one main fireball, and then it kind of explodes outwards. At 2-star rank in this patch, Nomsy deals 300 damage with the main fireball, and then the ones that bounce outward do 35% of that. So I guess they do about 100 damage each. Obviously, I'm doing more damage than that because Nomsy has quite a bit of ability power, but you get the idea. It's Nomsy is a and by the way, this person's holding 2 Nomsys as well. I guess that's the other person playing Nomsy. As I said, it was pretty heavily contested in this lobby. Really would have liked to have had not quite so many people playing the same units, but I am on a nice modest win streak. Stage 5's been going really well. Since I was finally able to put my board together at the end of the Chaos Dragon, I actually feel like I'm in pretty good shape here. I've been winning most of these rounds. The round I lost was the Squeaker against the Lux 3-star, and that person's at 8 Astral, so they're getting even more stuff out of the Astral Orbs. And I go ahead and move Nomsy up to the 3rd rank here. What I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to avoid having Zyra go ahead and target everything on my board. So I don't want everything to be in the same row. Unfortunately, it looks like I'm still going to get targeted. By the way, this person is the Volibear player, and they've actually managed to get up to 9 Shimmer Scale. The good news for me is we were able to just delete the Crown of Champions unit instantly. I have the Volibear highlighted so I can actually see how much health the unit has. And it's like, come on, we just need one more cast to finish off this unit. There we go. They did not build their board correctly either, by the way. If you're going to be running a Shimmer Scale board with Crown of Champion, you really, really want the setup to be... you really, really want an Edge of Night, because Edge of Night on the Crown of Champions unit means that they will not get focused. It means that they'll get the aggression drop midway through combat. So they did not build that board correctly. And even though they got 9 Shimmer Scale, their Crown of Champions unit, you saw, just got instantly blown up by Nomsy. So did not actually get a chance to do anything in the fight. I'm going to get a Shroud of Stillness here, which is quite nice. Again, Shroud of Stillness, another one of those items you can just slap on a random backlines unit, and then they will also be getting the economic benefit. Excuse me, they'll be getting the economic benefit from Cybernetic Uplink. So I think I just slapped this on the Vladimir here. And do I go to level 9? It's only 20 gold to level, so okay, let's do that. So there we go. Now Vlad, I can move Vlad wherever, so it's easy to position this. For the moment, I just put another Lux on the board, but I'm pretty confident I can do better than that. I was like, Jace might be better. He does give additional AD and AP. Might be better, but it's like, is that better than a 2-star Lux? Probably not. But then I just find Bard, and I was like, all right, well, I'll just play Bard then instead. That's going to give me the extra magic resistance. And again, now I'm still trying to position. One of the things I was trying to figure out in this game is the first time I've really played this is where is the best place to position Nomsy? Because like in this fight, if Nomsy's clearly in the wrong spot, like Nomsy's getting focused by the Zyra, and Nomsy's also getting hit by that Pantheon. If Nomsy's in the back, is like over on the left-hand side, I think I win this fight pretty easily. But Nomsy just got focused. And again, part of that's just the random luck of who you're up against. But yeah, a little bit unfortunate. So I'm going to end up losing this round. And I think it's just due to positioning. By the way, that person also has scoped weapons as well on their Whispers board. All right, so again, we're going to keep rolling here. And I'm going to get another Vlad. Again, I'll keep holding these units because I do have odds to get Vlad 3-star. Also, there's a Zoe. So, Talia, let's get you out of here. Zoe's a much more useful unit. So we'll go ahead and look to play that. I guess I probably should have held Talia just in case I would find a Mage Cap. If I were to find a Mage Cap, that would actually open up the possibility of playing 9 mages, which would be awesome. Very unlikely, but there could be one on a carousel somewhere. So I was like, all right, I'm going to position the Nomsy over here. And then I'm going to try to get this Shroud off. The Shroud is mispositioned, unfortunately. I needed to try to hit the Aoshin, not the Assassin Yasuo jumping in the back lines. So we do manage to get a nice Heimer double stun there. That's going to buy us some time. But is this enough against the 2-star Aoshin? The answer is no. I'm going to get blown up. So what you're seeing here is I have 2-star Nomsy. 2-star Nomsy is quite good. But does 2-star Nomsy beat 2-star Shyvana and 2-star Aoshin? And the answer is no. It definitely does not. This is still a unit at the 3-cost tier, so it is not a unit that's going to outperform those potential options. I do finally get the 2-star Silas, so that's going to help, but some of these other boards are spiking pretty hard. So this is a comp that's a bit more of a mid-game comp than a late-game comp. But, it's not terrible, and it has gotten me to a top 4, and, if I can win this next round, I'm up against the Volibear player who's running 9 Shimmer Scale. If I can win against their board, then I'm guaranteed to be at least top 3 in this fight. So yeah, they've got the Volibear. I'm going to try to position my shot. I've got Lux on the diagonal to try to hit that back right corner. So yep, they did not reposition. I'm going to get an awesome Shroud. They did at least move their Crown of Champions over to a better unit. They moved it over to Shi-O-Yu. Kind of a pretty interesting board that they've got there. But oh, look at the clump. The clump for the fireballs that I'm producing is just amazing. Nomsy is very good against clumped units. So Nomsy, oh, can we finish off that Shi-O-Yu with the Crown of Champions? Come on. They're deleting units, but I do have the Zerat portal, so it took extra time in order to finish off my unit. And yeah, we're going to win this one pretty easily. So even though they had 9 Shimmer Scale, as I said, we won that one without too much difficulty. So I will take it, and that is a top 2 finish. And by the way, we're going to get a fun little comment here. I remember this game. That person says, what the bleep is that Nomsy damage? It's like, yeah, 7 Mage Nomsy does a lot of damage. Even better if you can 3-star it, but that does not seem to be a realistic possibility. Now, here is the problem. I think my board is actually quite good here, and I'm actually getting very close to 3-star. I do hit the 2-star Zoe here, so like this board is very good, but there's just one problem. Someone has 3-star Pantheon and a 6 Whispers comp. I was like, yeah, I mean, I think my board's pretty good, but I don't think it beats 3-star Pantheon. Yeah, that's going to be a problem. I should probably move the Nomsy to the back lines. I'm going to try to shift away from Pantheon, but then this person shifts Pantheon themselves at the last second. So, yeah, this person was definitely paying attention. And even though Zoe gets off an awesome invulnerability to buy me another second or 2, I don't think I can kill 3-star Pantheon. That is a really strong unit. And it also has double Hand of Justice, so it's going to be healing on all damage dealt. So, yeah, that unit is not killable, so GG. But I will take it. This was a pretty good game overall. I liked how this game came together. I was heavily contested in this game, and I still came very close to winning. Just couldn't overcome the 3-star Pantheon, which is not something you're going to see very often in one of these lobbies. So when Nomsy's a mage, this is a pretty strong build. As I said, it's probably more of a top 4 build than a win the lobby build. But, you know, when it comes together, if you can actually 3-star the unit because you're not being contested by someone who takes all the Astral units out of the pool and another person also playing Nomsy, you know, if you can 3-star it, you can definitely win with it. So anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this video. Till next time, take care, folks.